Hi, this is Reverend Abby in Aloha, Oregon. I made today what I hope is a health cup of life, and I used this double-sided double cup basically. That I don't remember how much I paid for it on Amazon, not much, and it's really 2 cups in one. Try to get this in the sunlight. See, it's 2 cups in one. And then what I did was I drilled with a hand drill. This is a hand tool. So, and I did that so that I would not go past this little area here where the second cup, the inner cup starts and the outer cup finishes. And so just very gently, don't remember how many turns it was, but I made a little tiny hole here. And then I use this for industrial use only syringe, and I discovered after watching somebody else's video, it was a little difficult, but the needle comes out. You just twist it, and then it's a whole lot easier to fill. And so here I have some CO2 gans. It's been sitting on my east-facing window for a few months, and I combined that in this syringe, and then I screwed the needle back on, and I stuck it through a little tiny hole in here, and that basically put it in between the 2 cups. And if you shake it, if I shake it a lot, I shake it up, it's a green cup, then you can see, hopefully swirling, you can see the CO2 gans in there. Now, I made a coil, a pain pen coil for the middle, and I glued it in there. I held it down for about 30 seconds, I blew on it, prayed over it. It's 18 turns, 18 is chai, which means life in Hebrew. All the letters have numbers as doubles. And I used a hot glue gun, this hot glue gun, which I don't recommend. I think you should get that hot glue gun, it's bigger. But so this one drips on you, on your pants, on your table, just take care. But it worked. And then I put a little piece of copper foil over the top of that. I twisted it around as I was thinking about the guy that this is for, to make him healthy and balanced. And in the middle there, I put this CO2 gans, which is yellow because it's mostly apple cider vinegar. It's apple cider vinegar with a copper label there. Quiet! I'm trying to do a recording here. And I did this after watching session 108 of Knowledge Seekers, where Mr. Keshe says it might help to have one alkaline and one slightly acidic, and then put them away from each other. So the center one is slightly acidic with the apple cider vinegar CO2, and the pain pen coil. I did not take a picture of it first. It's in there. Hopefully you can see the blue. I don't know what that's from. Plasma field in my house. I put a little tiny bit of baking soda, which is NaHCO3, in the outer CO2 gans to make it more alkaline. And so there is a alkaline outside and a slightly acidic inside. And when he puts his cold drink in there, it should create movement. It should create flow of energy. The center coil is caustic coated. I used sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. I heated it twice until the coil got black. It's not totally black, but it's pretty black. And then I put it inside a piece of tubing that I happen to have here. All the parts come to use sooner or later. I had this tubing, big tubing, and I'll have to measure that, but it was just the right size to put that coil in there after I broke a test tube. Don't use a glass test tube. On the bottom I put copper tape, copper foil tape, and it's also stuck on there with the, I cut it out and I put it on there when the glue was still kind of warm and tacky, and so you can see that there's nothing is leaking. And I dried it in the sun while I was sun gazing, and I think it might work. I put labels on here according to what Mr. Keshe was saying. And that's his head, that's his heart, that's going to be his stomach, and that's his legs. And hopefully his head, his heart, he's got a big heart, see? And his stomach is also rather, he'd like it to be a bit smaller. And then his legs are fine, but they're not strong enough. And so what you're supposed to do is take the straw after you fill it up, and with your straw reach into that section of the cup that addresses your pain issue or your imbalance issue or whatever it is. But I made this in a couple of hours, maybe, of actual work. Took a lot of breaks, as usual, to look at the sun. And it's not leaking. I did not spend a lot of money. I used a small piece of 14 gauge AWG bare copper wire, which I nanocoated in with heat, caustic, in a saucepan on top of the stove. And I just glued it, I shoved it into that silicone tube, and I poured the gans into the top after I sealed the bottom with hot glue and after it dried, or else it would not have stuck. Everything has to be dry when you put the hot glue on. It doesn't have to be bone dry, it has to be mostly dry, or else the plug will fall in or it won't harden. And then the sun seems to be a very good way to get it to dry quickly. And you can see it's working when there's nothing coming out of it, no liquid. And see, it gets cloudy. You can see it getting cloudy on the outside. And sometimes you can see it swirling. It's kind of, it looks like a science experiment, which is what it is. But it's also a health experiment. And so I hope to see him soon, in a few hours. And I will give this to him, and if he wants to take it and report back on his increased health or happiness, then that would be great. And if it makes no difference at all, then I guess it'll get stuck in the drawer and not used. But it was not that difficult to make once I figured out how to get the hole and where to put it. I started trying to put it up here. That's a bad idea. The best place to put it is to make a belly button on the bottom there. It's sort of like a hole in the head, I suppose. It's sealed up and protected. And I did use this sort of alkaline, acidic, whatever you want to call it, push-pull, dichotomy. I am a little tired, so I don't know what word to use. The polarity, that's what I'm looking for. So they're both CO2 gans, but one was mixed. This one is not mixed with anything. That's the natural gans. I mixed a sample of that in here with a little tiny baking soda, so it would be slightly alkaline. And I put that in the outside, and I put this one in the inside the tube, the silicone tube. And also in there, before I put the liquid, I put this coil, this pain pin, which I made a few hours ago. And I just twisted it until, you know, my inner guidance told me to stop, that would help him. It's tall enough. I didn't really know how tall to make it or how long to make it. I did not follow a blueprint. I just followed my intuition. This is a very handy-dandy tool to have. I think, yeah, Fiskars makes it. It's a rotary drill, and it keeps you from going too far. And also saves electricity, so you're using your fingers. I think that's it for the healing health cup. So now we have to see if it will, in fact, be healing and healthful for him. So stay tuned to this channel, and I will report back when I find out. Shalom, salam, and blessings from Aloha, Oregon, where the sun is shining so brightly we can see it from